Thank you, Concorla. I, like Minister O'Donoghue, listened with real intent to the Leader of the Opposition speech. Now, what I heard in the very centre of it, the core key central message, was that politics is framed at the moment between the ordinary people and the insiders. Now, that's the very cornerstone of the populist playbook, which is incredibly successful in the world in the last 10 years, in many different countries. It tends to be quick to anger. It foments dissent and division. It thrills to be outspoken in social media, but in the cold light of day, actually it tends to be humourless and mean. It's hugely successful until it meets the reality of being in government. Look at what Donald Trump did. Look at the nationalist populism in the States. Look at the nationalist populism that Premier Boris Johnson have delivered. And the cold reality of the real world shows it cannot deliver the false promises that it presents. It's important because we live in extraordinary times where all of us as ordinary people are going to have to manage the most challenging situation. The cost of living is because energy and food has been used as a weapon of war, and rhetoric about simplistic solutions is not going to heat a single home. And we all, on every party, every side, independent and others, have a desire that our children are able to raise a family, have a home in this country in a way that's affordable. That does not belong to anyone, that desire. But again, the reality is, in our country, it's going to be building the builders. The real change in our country, with apprenticeships coming back, is the way that you actually achieve and deliver what is in the title. It says it on the tin, it's housing for all. We work for all in government, opposition and people who vote for you and for us, not for some, and playing it as a division. And when it comes to change, trust me, there is so much change coming to meet our climate and biodiversity restoration plans that it's going to be beyond compare. And I'm proud of what our party is doing in that regard. It would take me too long to list the real changes, but I want to mention some of my colleagues, what Catherine Martin is doing, delivering basic income for artists, radical change in a green way, what Roderick O'Gorman is about to do and did last year in helping childcare for all, in having 3 ministers of state, in having Oisin Smith as a cool and competent person when our country was under cyber attack, in having Joe O'Brien responsible for social inclusion and community activation, in having Malcolm Noonan trying to restore nature again. In our backbenchers, when we vote now as government, we vote from the top bench to the floor. In our chair of the Climate and Housing and Budget Oversight Committee, every member of government is part of this team, has to be, to make it work. We will not make it, we will not deliver it on our own. We will not work it, no party can deliver it in our voting system on their own. I recall saying that in the Convention Centre 2 years ago that Micheál Martin had all the right characteristics to be a good Taoiseach. I think the last years have proven that to be right. I think he took the baton from the Taoiseach who managed the COVID crisis in a way that we can be proud of, and it did not drop and it will not drop again as it's handed back this year, and we go to the full term delivering for our people. We have, all 3 parties have differences, but understand that politics is the art of the possible. And we will serve our people to the end, to the very best of our abilities, hoping that in that time, this wave of populism in politics that's gone right across the world might start beyond the wane, because it will not serve our people, it will not deliver.